Hello and welcome to Business 360. I'm Shireen Bhan. The headlines that we're tracking for you this evening. The Sensex and the Nifty end lower after a tepid start to the week. Mid-caps buck the trend. The rupee weakens, ending near record lows against the US dollar. India's trade deficit balloons to a record high of nearly $38 billion. Monthly imports hit a new peak of $70 billion. Gold imports rise 49% in value in the first 8 months of this financial year. Bitcoin prices hit a new record high as investors await a potential rate cut from the US Federal Reserve later this week. The cryptocurrency has rallied 50% since Donald Trump won the US presidential election. In a potential relief for auto industry, GST Council is likely to rule out retrospective imposition of the 22% additional cess on large utility vehicles, higher taxes to be applicable from July 2026-2023 or after. Sources say the council is likely to discuss hiking taxes on old vehicles at the December 21st meeting in Jaisalmer. The Delhi High Court summoned SpiceJet CEO and Chief Operating Officer in a payment dispute case, asked them to appear in person for the next hearing. However, both the CEO and the CEO posts are lying vacant as of date. Ajay Singh holds the chairman and MD's position. Bajaj Auto is all set to ramp up its EV play with a new electric three-wheeler brand. Plans to launch 5 new Chetak scooters and 5 new electric three-wheelers in the coming months. Target selling 5 lakh electric vehicles in FY26. More than 50 people, including rescue workers and a journalist working with Al Jazeera, killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. The Netanyahu government announces plans to increase the number of settlers in Syria's Golan Heights. This applies to the land portion that Israel had annexed in 1967. BJP and Congress leaders spar in Parliament as they discuss 75 years of India's constitution. The finance minister alleges Congress amended the constitution only to benefit one family. Kharge demands an apology from Prime Minister Modi for allegedly twisting the words of Jawaharlal Nehru. Legendary tabla player and Padma Vibhushan Ustad Zakir Hussain dies in San Francisco at the age of 73. He was suffering from a lung disease and was hospitalized for the last 2 weeks. A multiple Grammy Award winner, Hussain elevated the tabla from an accomplishment to a solo act in the global arena. Catch our special tribute to Ustad Zakir Hussain at 5:30 p.m. today, where we discuss the rich legacy with contemporary musicians. The youngest chess world champion Gukesh returns home to a rapturous reception at the Chennai airport. Cricket legend Sachin Tendulkar praises the teenager for guiding the next generation of chess prodigies. From jaw-dropping deals in Gurugram to blockbuster sales in Mumbai, we take a look at the resurgence in the real estate sector, driven largely by the rise of super luxury living. Well, let's start with the stock market action of the day. The Sensex and the Nifty ending the day lower. This after a lackluster start to the new week. The Sensex lost over 380 points today. The Nifty was down by about 100. The mid-cap index, though, bucking the trend, up by about 450 points. That's almost 1% of a gain coming in there for the mid-caps. That is the start of our market action. On to the money markets, where the rupee weakened against the dollar, moving closer to the record low levels. The rupee had gained some strength last week, but those gains were given up in trade today. Meanwhile, as far as the bond market was concerned, India's 10-year sovereign bond prices also declined in trade today. That's the money market snapshot for you. In the cryptocurrency market, the price of Bitcoin hitting a new record high as investors await a potential rate cut from the US Federal Reserve later this week. Other cryptocurrencies, including Ether and Dogecoin, also gaining in trade. Bitcoin has rallied 50% since Donald Trump's victory in the US presidential election. Trump is also anticipated to go ahead with the strategic Bitcoin reserve, and that's taken Bitcoin to an all-time high. Now, macro data. India's trade deficit has widened to a record high of nearly $38 billion in November on an annual basis. Monthly imports have also hit a new peak of $70 billion. Exports rose by 2.1% during April to November period, while imports accelerated at a faster pace of 8.35%. Gold imports have also risen 49% in value in the first 8 months of this financial year, which is one of the leading contributors to overall imports, so big import surge coming in there. India's wholesale price index has eased to a 3-month low of 1.89% for November. The government has attributed this due to a decrease in food and vegetable prices. However, inflation in manufactured products increased to 2% from 1.5% earlier. Moving on to international news, over 50 people, including rescue workers and a journalist working with Al Jazeera, were killed in an Israeli airstrike in Gaza. The strikes also hit a UN-run school in Khan Yunis, located in southern Gaza. UNICEF officials have termed the attack appalling, with casualties involving children in the region. Attacks also continued across the northern Gaza Strip, damaging residential buildings and refugee camps. The Netanyahu government has also announced a plan to increase the number of settlers in Syria's Golan Heights. This applies to the land portion that Israel had annexed in 1967. Several countries like Qatar and Saudi Arabia, Iraq and UAE have condemned Israel's plans to increase settlements in the region. And from West Asia to Europe, Ukrainian drones have carried out strikes on an oil facility in Russia, causing a fire. This oil facility is a crucial source of fuel supplies for Russian troops. Ukraine has claimed its military has shot down 58 Russian drones. No casualties have been reported so far. Meanwhile, Russia's central bank is expected to carry out a massive rate hike next week as inflation in the country continues to soar. The consumer price index rose to 8.9% in November versus 8.5% in October. So that is biting inflation in Russia, which could prompt the central bank there to hike rates significantly. In the energy markets, oil prices have each, albeit marginally, from the highest levels in weeks. This as markets remained cautious ahead of the Federal Reserve's policy meeting later this week. Now, the fall in prices was limited by fears of supply disruptions in the event of more U.S. sanctions on major suppliers, Russia and Iran. Well, on to a CNBC TV 18 exclusive. In a potential relief for auto industry, GST Council is likely to rule out retrospective imposition of the 22% additional cess on large utility vehicles. Sources have told CNBC TV 18 that the higher taxes will be applicable from July 26, 2023. Timsy standing by with more on the GST Council's meeting scheduled for the 21st of December in Jaisalmer. Timsy.
That's right, there's a lot on the plate of GST Council when it meets on 21st of December in Jaisalmer. Top will be a clarity that is likely to give relief to auto companies. Here the relief is that 22% cess, which was levied on utility vehicles having a specification of 1500cc, 400 mm of length and 170 mm of ground clearance. Over there, the clarity had emerged in 50th Council meeting that 22% cess to be levied. And this, now the council is going to re-clarify that this levy will be only on or after 26th of July 2023. And any claims that have been raised for the past, if approved, then this clarity will put them to rest, because it is learned that many state and central GST authorities have issued claims notices to auto companies for past dues. And once cleared, this will put to rest all those notices and claims. Apart from that, the council-nominated fitment committee has made certain proposals, which includes reducing rate on fortified rice kernels from 18% to 5%, to reduce GST on gene therapy from 12% to nil to give affordable medical treatment. Also, the council is going to discuss on the GOM on revenue analysis, where it says that it is likely to seek a closure of this GOM, which has been in existence since 2019. The council nominated GOM on compensation cess is likely to submit a status report seeking a 3-month extension. Apart from this, other items include fast-tracking the appellate tribunals by giving clarity of rules and procedures, clarity for online services sector, registration categories could be proposed in the upcoming council in terms of a concept note, where they could say that allowing ITC based on risk profile should be considered. A concept note will be prepared and shared. Also, mandatory signature on e-invoice is likely to be proposed. Let's see what all gets approved. Back to you.
Timsy, many thanks. And staying with the GST Council, it's likely to discuss hiking taxes on old vehicles at the December 21st meeting in Jaisalmer. Sources have said the rates on old and used EVs, smaller petrol and diesel cars may be hiked to 18% from 12%. Petrol cars over 1200cc and diesel cars over 1800cc are already taxed at 18%. Now, after emerging as the new market leader in the electric two-wheeler space, that's this month, Bajaj Auto is ramping up its EV play. The company is lining up a slew of new launches. Parikshit is standing by with the exclusive details. Parikshit.
Well, Bajaj Auto is targeting selling 500,000 electric vehicles in FY26 and more than that as well. Rajya Bajaj, in fact, told CNBC TV 18 exclusively that the company is likely to exit FY25 with a capacity and sales run rate of 40,000 cumulative electric vehicles per month. The company has new electric three-wheeler launches, including an e-rickshaw on the anvil in the coming months, and these will significantly bolster sales volume. We will, in fact, see a lot of action starting this December and in the next quarter as well. Sources tell CNBC TV 18 that the e-rickshaw will be launched in Q1 of FY26. In fact, Bajaj Auto is likely to launch a new brand for electric three-wheelers. All new electric three-wheelers will have the new brand identity. Sources also add that the company will launch 5 new electric Chetak scooters and 5 electric three-wheeler passenger and cargo vehicles in the coming months. A new Chetak scooter is being launched on the 20th of December this year, which sources say will have a bigger battery, higher range, more features and better performance than the current Chetak lineup in the market. The production capacity of Bajaj Auto is being ramped up to meet electric vehicle sales target of over 5 lakh EVs in FY26. Bajaj Auto has sold a total of over 1.7 lakh electric vehicles across 2- and 3-wheeler segments. The company has emerged as the top electric two-wheeler maker in December, displacing Ola Electric.
Parikshit, many thanks. Now, the Delhi High Court has summoned SpiceJet CEO and Chief Operating Officer in relation to a payment dispute with lessors. The court has asked the airline CEO and CEO to physically appear before it for the next hearing, which is scheduled for the 16th of January. Ashmit is standing by now with more details. Ashmit, many thanks. There is no CEO or COO at SpiceJet currently. So what happens from here?
Indeed, and the one hemming the ship from here has been the chairman and MD, Ajay Singh himself. So there is that bit of a question mark. Team France lawyers, however, are very clear in their view that they believe Ajay Singh will need to appear. We are yet to hear in terms of who will appear from the airline itself. But as far as the background to this is concerned, SpiceJet, the airline, has been hard at work in terms of resolving these outstanding payment dues with the various lessors. Team France is not one of them. Team France claims outstanding dues of over $24 million, saying that these dues have been pending for a very long time. In fact, they point towards a very specific order of May of 2024, which specifically had directed, with the consent of both sides, had directed SpiceJet to cough up that amount of $6 million. We're standing here now in December, the Delhi High Court expressing its frustration over non-compliance with it, with the High Court order, and with that in mind, the High Court making its frustration known by summoning physically the CEO as well as the COO of the airline to appear physically in person before the next date of hearing before the High Court. That's on January 16th. What's interesting is that the counsels for SpiceJet had sought an exemption, saying that how about we have the CEO and the CEO appear virtually. That was expressly denied by the High Court, saying that nothing doing, we want them to appear, we want the top leadership to appear before us to answer these questions over non-payment. Now, we reached out to the airline. What they're saying is that both these positions are lying vacant, and technically speaking, Ajay Singh occupies the position of chairman and MD. So an interesting question mark for SpiceJet to answer. As far as Team France is concerned, the lessors believe Ajay Singh needs to show up on Jan 16th before the Delhi High Court.
All right, Ashmit, appreciate you joining us. That is the latest in the legal troubles for SpiceJet. Now, sticking with action from the Supreme Court, this time around, the Apex Court has ordered that all 24 pleas related to an alleged anti-competitive practices by Amazon and Flipkart must be transferred to the Karnataka High Court. The Commission of India has consented to this arrangement on the condition that proceedings before other high courts are stayed. Remember, the CCI had urged the Supreme Court to consolidate and hear the cases. The Karnataka High Court hearing, which was scheduled for tomorrow, will now be delayed temporarily. We will head into a break, but up next, from jaw-dropping deals in Gurugram to blockbuster sales in Mumbai, we take a look at the resurgence in the real estate sector. That and more when we return. In Parliament action, chaos erupting in the Rajya Sabha during a debate on 75 years of the Indian Constitution. Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman claimed that the Congress brought constitutional amendments to benefit just one family. She criticised the 42nd amendment introduced by the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi during the emergency era. Union Minister JP Nanda accused Indira Gandhi of crushing the Constitution in 1975, while the leader of the opposition, Mallikarjun Kharge, urged the BJP to draw inspiration from the late Prime Minister and help minorities in Bangladesh. She also demanded an apology from Prime Minister Modi for allegedly twisting the words of Jawaharlal Nehru. Sri Lankan President Anura Kumara Disanke met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Delhi on the second day of his three-day visit to India. The two countries have signed two MOUs to avoid double taxation and to train Sri Lankan civil administrators in the Indian National Centre for Good Governance. The Prime Minister said the issue of Indian fishermen being arrested by the Sri Lankan authorities was also highlighted in the talks. This is the first foreign visit by the new Sri Lankan president. Legendary tabla player and Padma Vibhushan Ustad Zakir Hussain passed away in San Francisco at 73. He was suffering from a lung disease and was hospitalized for the last 2 weeks. Multiple Grammy Award winner Hussain elevated the tabla from an accompaniment to a solo act in the global arena. And tune into CNBC TV 18 at 5:30 p.m. as we celebrate the life, the times and the legacy of Ustad Zakir Hussain, the maestro who cast a rhythmic spell on music enthusiasts across the world in a marquee career of 60 years. We'll be joined by stalwarts from the world of music as they share with us their anecdotes of Ustad Zakir Hussain, the rich legacy he leaves behind and his biggest contribution to the world of music. Music composer Shankar Mahadevan and Salim Merchant, santoor player and music composer Rahul Sharma and tabla player Anand Kalyanpur will join us right here on CNBC TV 18 as well as our YouTube page. So do remember to tune in and log in to watch a special tribute to the legendary Ustad Zakir Hussain. Well, the youngest chess world champion Gukesh returned home to a rapturous reception at the Chennai airport. The 18-year-old defeated China's Ding Liren in Singapore last week to become the youngest ever world champion. Gukesh is only the second Indian after Vishwanathan Anand to claim the world title. Well, 2024 has been a record-breaking year for India's luxury real estate market. From jaw-dropping deals in Gurgaon to blockbuster sales in Mumbai, the resurgence in the sector has been driven by the rise of super luxury living. Shivani Bazaz reports that Gurgaon is now giving Mumbai and Bengaluru stiff competition when it comes to the luxury real estate category, and the trend may just be getting started.
This is DLF's Camellia project in Gurugram. And as of mid-December, it's leading the race when it comes to the sheer size of property deals. Rishi Parthi of InfoX Software Technology set the record books buzzing when he paid 190 crore rupees for a 16,000 square feet penthouse apartment in this project, which works out to a whopping 1,80,000 rupees per square foot. This has put Gurugram ahead of traditionally super luxury markets like Mumbai, because the deal dwarfs the other largest super luxury real estate deals of the year, which include Great White Global's purchase of two 8,000 square foot apartments in the Oberoi 360 West in Worli for 225 crore rupees. RR Cable's promoter Sri Gopal Kabra's purchase of two apartments totaling 13,000 square foot on the 62nd floor of the same building for 198 crore rupees. And Param Capital's Asha Mukul Agarwal buying 3 luxury flats at Lodha Malabar for a whopping 263 crore rupees.
Gurgaon has become a parallel city to Mumbai and Delhi and has now overtaken Mumbai and Delhi and become the luxury capital of the country. And there are many reasons behind that. One is that all the successful startup entrepreneurs who are working out of Gurgaon prefer to live in Gurgaon. All the industrialists of NCR who have their places of work in Gurgaon want to be in Gurgaon and don't want to travel that 1.5 hours each way coming from Delhi. Aralias, which was launched 25 years ago at 1,800 rupees a square feet, and now today Camellia stands at roughly 1,80,000 rupees a square feet. That is a price increase of roughly 100 times in the last 25 years.
The DLF Camellia's deal is not just the most expensive one in Gurugram's property market to date. It also makes the project the most expensive high-rise condo in India, followed by Namanzana project in Mumbai's Worli and Lodha Malabar in Mumbai's Walkeshwar. Interestingly, Oberoi 360 West, which boasts 3 of the largest deals in the list this year, comes in at the 6th place in terms of costliest properties. Data suggests that this boom in super luxury and luxury real estate market is here to stay. According to Anarock, 2024 saw 25 ultra-luxury residential deals, each priced above 40 crore rupees, close across Mumbai, Hyderabad, Gurugram and Bengaluru. That's a combined value of 2,443 crore rupees. In terms of sheer number of deals, Mumbai still has the lead.
Camellia is one in Gurgaon, entire Gurgaon. But, many of the projects in Worli area in the central Bombay, these are all luxury, which provides various amenities to the end consumer. So we had seen a lot of, if you look at the amount of luxury on the volume side, if you compare it with Delhi, I think Mumbai still has got the highest amount of demand coming from the celebrities or the younger entrepreneurs.
Experts add that this rise in demand for super luxury residential properties is being driven by a mix of growing wealth, the desire for opulent lifestyle, and the marquee projects that redefine luxury, and indicate that this trend is set not just to continue but grow in numbers and value. In New Delhi, this is Shivani Bajaj for CNBC TV 18.
Well, the rise of luxury real estate. With that, it is time for us to wrap up this edition of Business 360. The news will continue right here on CNBC TV 18. Stay tuned. We're back in a moment with more.